Welcome to the FTC Competition Tracker from Indiana First FTC. It is hosted locally on a Raspberry Pi running Raspbian, so you do not need an internet connection to run this during a competition. To begin using the competition tracker, simply open any modern browser and enter the IP address of the local site on the Raspberry Pi. This will bring up the login screen, and because we're going to do some competition setup, we're going to enter the administrator and log in with that. When you first log in, you will be on the Manage Teams tab. It is here where you'll create and remove teams from a list that you'll use to pick when you create a competition. In this case, we'll create team number 10 and call it add team. Because it's not a real team, we'll actually select it and remove that team from the list. We will now go to Create Competition tab so we can create a competition. You can see the list of teams over on the left, and then in the middle we're going to pick a competition date, in this case November 10th, and we're going to tag this as the league meet that we're going to have on that date. We'll then go over, pick a couple of teams on there. In this case we're just going to pick 5 of them and create the competition. We will now go over to the Edit Competition tab. It is here that we'll edit all the data in the competitions that we have created. So to select the competition, you go to Select Competition on the left and then select that competition. The data then fills in on the teams that have been selected, as well as the date and the event name. To add the matches that will be played during that competition, you run the match schedule, save it out somewhere, open it up. We just selected it. You can see that match.txt is selected, and we're going to upload that file, and we just created the match schedule in the tracker. The other thing that you need to note is which competition is actually going to be displayed out in the pits and all the other logins for the users. In this case, we just changed to the Mountain Classic by opening that competition, because everything for this example was done for the Indiana State competition last year. We're going to change back to that, and then we're finished, so we'll go ahead and log out. We will now access the information display by logging in as guest user. This is a 2-tab screen that has the check-in information on the left and match play on the right. We'll go ahead and hit F11 to make the screen full size and scroll down to the bottom so that we can display everything. All 4 things to complete in the morning: check-in, robot inspections, and judging can be seen with every team. To modify the data on the display, we'll open up a browser on any device, go to the IP address, and in this case, since we're doing check-in, we're going to enter the receptionist as the user. Go ahead and log in, and you'll bring up this screen. When you go down to select team, the entire list of teams can be selected from there. In this case, we'll select 535 Tobor, approve the team, and then as the list cycles through, you'll see there will be a check mark next to Tobor, so they've been checked in. Let's do another one. We'll go down to Jug Rocks Robotics, 9864, check them in, and then as it cycles through again, you'll see that there's a check mark beside them as well. So let's fast forward a little bit, check in a bunch more teams, and show you how things happen. With a lot of teams checked in, we can go to the mobile device and see that there is a very limited amount of teams left on the list, in this case 3. That also matches what's scrolling over. As we approve those last 3 names, you'll see that the list actually just disappears, and it's a very easy way to, if you're not with the receptionist and not in the display, you can actually, with the IP address, log in as a receptionist and see which teams are checked in and which aren't. So as this finishes one last scroll, you'll see that the whole check-in is complete and everybody is now at the competition. So let's log in as some of the other users and see how that affects the display. Let's do the field inspector first. And again, just like the receptionist, you can see that the entire list is on there because nobody has gone through field inspection. So let's select 35, 37, and also let's select 9864 and see what happens once they go through there. We'll also then switch over to a different user. We'll also do the robot inspection. as the screen scrolls by, you can see that the two that we selected on field inspection have check marks next to them. So robot inspector, we'll do 535 again, and then we'll also go down to Jug Rocks Robotics one more time, 9864, and select them as well. So now Jug Rocks is moving right along. They've actually been checked in, they've done robot inspection, field inspection. So let's go all the way down to the very end on the judging. This one's called Judge Monitor, and we'll get a couple more people checked in down there so that they show that they're actually at the judging. So we'll do the binary bots, and then we'll also do Jug Rocks Robotics all the way down there. So they'll be officially checked in on every single item all the way across. We'll wait for the screen to scroll all the way through, and you'll see that when it refreshes, we're getting all the way to the bottom, as it refreshes, you'll see that 9864 is no longer on the list. They've actually completed everything and don't show up anymore. Fast forwarding some more, let's get everybody through robot inspection, and now there's only 18 teams left that haven't completed everything. You can see the scrolling has slowed way down, and it just has to cycle through one team. Let's approve a couple more teams and then see what happens when it updates again. We're now officially on one page, and everything can fit right there. Jumping to the very end of the morning, you can see we only have 2 teams left that haven't gone through judging, so let's get them approved. Both of them now are through judging. You can see the list now is completely empty. The screen updates and everybody's done. So let's go over to the Match View tab and see how match information is handled. We need to log in as the queuer so that we can update the information. Obviously I have to spell it right. Go ahead and get that spelled correctly. Get logged in, and it actually landscape works better, so we'll go ahead and turn that sideways. You can see that we have the next 5 matches, the current one and the next 4 up on the board. We'll go ahead and check in each of those matches as we go. So the first 4 teams have all shown up to the field. Boom, check mark shows up under their name. We'll go ahead and queue a few more teams just to show you how things work as the system updates. We have tested this so that multiple queuers can be logged in and they don't interfere with each other. So we got a lot of teams queued up here. Let's see what happens after match 1 completes. So we'll go ahead and complete that match. When we press that button, you can see it disappears on the remote screen. The display will update, and match 2 is now the current match. You will see match 6, the next match, also showed up on the bottom. This process continues with teams queuing and matches getting completed until all 40 matches are complete for the day. This completes our demonstration of the FTC Competition Tracker. I hope you found it informative, and thank you for watching.